Today we're going to look at a passage in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verses 16 through 18. We all experience pain and hardship and difficulties in this life, and the Apostle Paul was no stranger to these types of things. And he wrote about this in the passage that we're going to be looking at here in 2 Corinthians chapter 4. He said, "Therefore we do not lose heart, but though our outer man is decaying, yet our inner man is being renewed day by day. For momentary light affliction is producing for us an eternal weight of glory, far beyond all comparison. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal." He begins this passage by describing what we all experience and what we have seen in those around us is that our physical bodies grow old and they eventually wear out. And at some point, we will pass from this life. And we've experienced the loss of loved ones as they have passed from this life. He says our outer man is decaying, but there's another part of us that is being renewed day by day. This is the inner man, as he describes it here, or we sometimes refer to this as the soul. It is renewed day by day. Well, how does this happen? Well, he would write over in Ephesians chapter 4, he talks about how we are renewed in the spirit of our mind as we conform to the likeness of Christ, as we learn to be like Him. And so our bodies may be wearing out, but our inner man, as we follow Christ and we follow His example and we heed His words, our inner man is being renewed day by day. We are looking for things that are not seen, not focused on the things of this life that we see that are always changing and always subject to decay. We are looking at things which are not seen, because those things which are not seen are eternal. Looking forward to the hope of heaven when this life is over. So we have this affliction and hardship and pain that we face in this life. But notice how he described that in this passage. We read that he called it momentary light affliction. Now, if you are wondering, well, maybe Paul just didn't have as hard of a life as I have, or maybe he hadn't faced the difficulties that I do. We all face different problems and hardships. But if you're unsure of whether Paul could understand or sympathize the difficulties of this life, read the last 10 or 11 verses of 2 Corinthians chapter 11, a little bit later in this book, and read about all of the hardships that he endured as an apostle in his work in preaching the gospel, from beatings and imprisonment and shipwrecks and all the things that he faced. He was one who experienced hardship. He was one who experienced pain. And yet, despite all of what he had to endure, he called it momentary light affliction. That it's only temporary. It's not going to last forever. Whatever hardship we endure is not going to last forever. And when we compare it, as he described, with the eternal weight of glory, when we compare it with eternity and the reward that we have with God in heaven, what we're facing now really doesn't amount to much. It's difficult right now, and it seems like it's crushing us right now. But with the perspective that Paul is talking about here, we can learn to see this as momentary and light affliction. And so we need to try to have the perspective that Paul had here. This is what he was trying to get the brethren in Corinth to understand, what he's trying to get us to understand. That yes, we face hardships in this life. Yes, we face difficulties. He's not minimizing those or pretending like they don't exist. But when we compare them with the reward, when we compare them with what God offers us for eternity, what we endure in this life is momentary and it is light. We are looking for those things which are not seen because they are eternal. We need to work on developing our inner man and being renewed in our mind to be like Christ and not like the world. And so what he began with in these verses that we read, therefore we do not lose heart. Don't lose heart. Don't abandon the faith. Don't give up on Christ, because He has a reward that is available to us but we have to follow Him. No matter what hardships, no matter what challenges, no matter what pain we have to endure in this life, do not lose heart. Follow the Lord and be faithful to Him.